I love the work that you're putting out into the world. How incredible is it that we have talented artists coming out from Lebanon that are creating art that the whole world can see, that depict Lebanon, that teach us about Lebanon, that show us Lebanese culture. You know, in a time where they're trying to destroy Lebanon, literally, physically, they're not able to destroy our art and culture and spirit. And you're part of spreading it out to the world. And thanks to you and your team and all the actors and all the crew that worked on this to make Arzé a reality. Because, from my opinion, we have some great filmmakers coming out of Lebanon. We have, Nadine Lebeke. We have Ziad Ray over here, the Mount Rushmores of Lebanon, and you're definitely on it, Mira. Welcome to the club.
That means a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Most definitely. All right, Said. Now to your question.
So my first of all, I want to say, Ali, that was a very tearful introduction. Really good work. Good job, man. And my first question is trying to be complimentary. Um, my first question is actually in the movie Arzé. Something that I noticed in the first scene was, so the main character Arzé, she was walking in a yellow dress, and that first, I don't know why, but in my mind I was thinking about it. I know yellow is the color of happiness, and in that scene she was happy, but then after that scene it was gone. There was no more happiness. There was no yellow. It was everything just became a bit more darker. It was tense throughout. Like even the colors throughout the movie were seen a bit more darker. So, can you explain a bit more of that perspective, your perspective there?
So she as a person, even in the situation that she was living in, like making a lot of money, not being able to support her family as much as she wanted, but she was
Mm-hmm.
content. She was happy. It was her own bubble, her own life. She wakes up every day, makes her own spinach pies. She holds the grocery. She delivers the spinach pies. She goes around the city. She knows the city really well. But
Yeah.
some and a lot of people live in this safe bubble, and it was Ariz's bubble. So when she walks in the middle of the street of Beirut in her dress, in her yellow dress, it's like a ray of sunshine, like she's bright from the inside. She's tired, she's
Yeah.
sad, but she's also a very happy person. Like she's content and she loves her life. So yes, the yellow was a choice also because it reflects a lot on the camera, like the way you see the, like, yellow, and then you walk across the streets. It's like there's so many colors as well happening, and on purpose that we chose that on purpose, the colors, because we wanted to show that Beirut is a very colorful city. It could be very
Mm-hmm.
colorful, and at the same time it
Yeah.
could be very dark.
That's
So
true.
we started off with this like ray of sunshine and happiness, and she's walking beauty. And then once a scooter gets stolen, everything turns into a very like dark place in her head. Yet she
Mm-hmm.
never gives up. So that's why she's in the same clothes until the end when she goes to find the scooter. And then we go back to again like different colors. Even Kinan, his shirt is stripes with like several colors, because we wanted to keep the end like also a happy moment, which shows the streets of Beirut where like they're very common to us and they're not like dark and dim. So yeah, it was like this was done on purpose.
Wow.
And on that theme of like going from happiness to sad to happiness again, we watched some of your previous shorts and your previous films. We noticed they didn't have the same style of ending. So what changed? Like how what why the happy ending? What's going on?
Okay, so first like when I did my first short, second short, that's Lilacs. It was produced in 2016,
Yeah.
and then I started the journey of Arzé. And I started the journey of Arzé with Luay Krish and Faisal Sam Shaib, who are the writers of the movie.
And your brother.
So
Mm-hmm.
my brother. So yeah, so when we started the working on Arzé, we were like, we want movies that end up on a hopeful note,
Mm-hmm.
because we were going through a lot. A country was going through a lot, and we were watching a lot of Lebanese films that were reflecting the situation, but they were also very sad and very dramatic. And we were like, what keeps us going
I
every
know.
day is hope. And
Yeah.
even us as Lebanese, we make jokes about our situation. We would
Yeah.
be like sad and broken and still making jokes on what's happening, because this is what keeps us going. Like we need
Mm.
someone, we need some happiness. So
Coping mechanisms.
exactly. So we realized that we need to reflect this on screen. And I didn't want to make a movie that ends on a sad note. I didn't want to make a movie that people would go out and be upset and remind them of all the bad things that we're going through. I want people to go out and be refreshed and feel good. It's a feel good, light-hearted movie. My other
Hmm.
short, I was also discovering myself as a director. I was discovering myself as a writer. I wanted to deal with stories that I witnessed in my bare eyes, and I lived with those people. So I didn't feel like the kidnapped story about the brother of
Mm-hmm.
Arzé could end on a hopeful note, because that story,
Yeah.
till the second, there are people waiting for their
Mm-hmm.
loved ones, and it is not solved. Nobody is giving like them any attention. It's like done. It's a situation that's not where it's not done. People are still hoping to find their loved ones. And I wanted to tackle in my first short, because I lived the 2006 war, and I saw what happened in my like around me in my villages, how people were like not being able to support their kids, and were like, okay, maybe I'll make them get married even if they're young. So I wanted to tackle those two situations, and I will always tackle stories about our country,
Hmm.
but what happened is that as a director, I grew. Like, don't forget, between 2015 when I wrote Lilacs and I Arzé in 2022 we produced it. That's a long time. That's like 7 years of me developing as a filmmaker. And
Yeah.
I realized that I'm a person who I want to say the story, but I want to say it in a light-hearted way where it reaches more people, and people would actually love to see it and come out of it understanding the message that we're trying to give, but not being like they want to kill themselves, like just they want
That's so
to
funny.
understand. Like when people tell me this is a movie I can watch twice, I'm like, wow. I mean, one of my favorite movies is Manchester by the Sea, which is it's a
Yes,
crazy, sad story
and it's
that
depressing.
it's very depressing. I watched it 4 times, and I love this kind of movies, but I also but I don't want to make a movie that I come out and I'm like so depressed. Not for our people. Our people don't need that, and
Hmm.
we make movies for the people. Like this is something that me, Luay, and Sam has always agreed on. We make movies for the people, so we want
Hmm.
the people to come out happy, but also to make the movie not commercial, to use the aspect of art that we love, to use the aspect
Hmm.
like to put in ideas and themes, and use a great cinematography and production design, and not have it like a commercial stupid script, but at the same time end on a hopeful note. So I changed as a
Interesting.
director.
That
That's
was a
that.
good choice. That was most definitely a good choice. No, I mean I respect films that can be sad. I mean I have a
Of
friend
course,
from
me
over
too.
here. I've seen this movie
Mm.
many times, and
Brilliant.
it's
Me
definitely
too.
brilliant and very sad. But I think for Erze, having that ending, which was hopeful, and the way that you made it fun, you made the whole movie a fun
Yeah.
journey. It had
Yeah.
laughs, it had sad
Mm.
moments. It was an emotional roller coaster. I went through it, but I could relate. I mean, it's so cool. I watched it with my mom and two of my American friends. And so my mom, she's Lebanese. She saw it and she was really impacted and she knew all the details and she could see the depths, the layers that was told in this story. And at the same
Yeah.
time, my American friends who watched it, they also loved it and they knew nothing about Lebanon or very little, but they learned actually. They learned from your film. They learned about Lebanese culture and society, and anyone can watch this film, whether you're Lebanese or not, and get something out of it. And I think your film is one of those films that, upon repeated watchings, you can get deeper and deeper and notice the intricacies of how you've designed this world, and it's very detail oriented.
Oh,
And just
that's
my comment.
no, that's a
Yes.
beautiful way to put it. Also, like I got what you just said about your American friend. This is something when we're going around festivals, people are telling us, we don't know a lot about, no, no, nothing about Lebanon. We're coming in expecting something completely else, and like, thank you for showing the country. Now I feel like I know more. I'm closer to the country, especially with what's going
Yeah.
and what we're seeing on TV, and then we have this movie that is showing us in a beautiful, like, Beirut looks gorgeous, and then they're like, now I know more about the country, and this is something that we focused on when we tried to make the movie, like, and then, like, internationally, like, to resonate with people, not just our people, like, because sectarianism, it's not everywhere, but we wanted to
Yes.
put other
Hmm.
aspects that resonates with the international audience.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
brilliant. Um,
Thank
I want to ask you about collaboration because you're the director. You kind of pull people together, but you're working with crew and you're working with different actors, and some of them are legit serious actors. Some of them are stand-up comedians, and then some of them are just people from the street, and not in a mean way, but non-actors. You can say yes.
Yeah, yeah,
How
we
do
had
you make all these people work together?
look, I'm gonna say, let me start with the professional actors, because it's very hard when you work with big names on a low budget, and above all, a young director in a short time, in a short period. So I wanted to work with people actors who would give me all their trust, and this was my first way, like, approaching them. I was telling them that I know how big you are and I understand everything, but if you can't trust me when I tell you this is not working, or for example, when I have a close up on someone and not the other person, and like, you can't have a diva moment on set when we're very tight on time on everything. You need to trust me. And I will never let you go on screen and look bad, because it will reflect on me
Hmm.
eventually. Eventually, the only person who gets the hit in movies is the director, and especially if it's a young director doing her first feature film. So
Yeah.
when I read like comments sometimes, and I see like people are giving me like comments about stuff, I'm like, it's okay. It's like everyone has their own opinion, but
That's
I'm
true.
getting more positive feedback. And this is what I was trying to get that to tell the actors, is that the way you look, the way I show you is me. So I'm not gonna let myself direct you or show you in a bad way. So you gotta trust me, and you're gonna be patient with us when I'm trying to direct you. Honestly,
Hmm.
it was big names from Diamant to Betty to Fadi to Eli to Tariq, and everyone was so, so sweet. Everyone was so passionate. The way we worked, it was like, because and whenever she goes to a journey and meets like, go to a sectarian area and meets the men, they are
Yeah.
from those areas. So
Mm.
this is something we made sure to do. Like, for example, Tariq Tamim is Sunni. He's doing the Sunni community. Fuad is doing the Christian. Fadi is doing the Maronite. Junaid the Druze, and they are actually from those communities. So in a way, we work together, and that's why I always call it a collaboration more than just me telling her what to do. Because I also learn. I
Yeah.
don't come from all those communities. I lived with them, yes, but if Junaid comes and tells me, oh, the Druze would do this, would put, for example, something on the wall that I thought something different, would tell the production designer, oh, this does not work.
Yeah.
So we can hear and we can learn. So this is what was happening. We worked together. Even the accent of Arzé of
Hmm.
Lebanon, it was us with the actors working on it. Tariq would sit with her and teach her how to speak in a Sunni accent. Our crew, or Ali Ibrahim Ajami, who did the Shia, would help her, like, don't say hi, say salam, for example. So it was a beautiful collaboration, and everyone was having fun, and they were like, yeah, yeah, say this, don't say that. It's like everyone is getting teaching like each other, and I was part of it. I was also learning, and I was helping them, like, you know, to collaborate all, and like to stay like passionate about the project and to trust me. So
Yeah.
that's how it happened with the big names and on set. As for the Bilal, it was his first feature, and he's done small roles in TV. So working with him was very interesting, because as a director, I love working with non-professional actors. Like my thesis was on directing actors, and mainly non-professional actors. So I didn't have enough time to work fully, like on that, how I wanted to work. So we had to bring in an acting coach with me. So Bilal, it was a mix of me, acting coach, Diamant, Betty, and myself. So we're all like helped him, and he's brilliant. He's a star. So he was willing to learn, willing to listen, and he wanted to give the role his best. So it was a very interesting, like a family dynamic. Like at some point, before production, they used to spend days at the house, the three of them, and I'm like just like lingering around, like looking at them, and they would actually do like stuff like do some spinach, talk, sit in the living room to try to make the chemistry work more, or to try to make themselves feel like this is their house, this is their home. So the way we all worked together was very in a way very Lebanese, very heartwarming, very like a family kind of work, too much trust between each other, and passion. They were very passionate about the script. Yeah. I mean, before getting to know,
Yeah.
it's the script that made them accept to be part of this movie. Then they met me, and knowing me, I'm not a like I would love to collaborate and work with them rather than be on their head like do this, do that. No, this is not how it to get the feelings and the emotions that we got. I needed to be more like, let's work together. Let's see what you can bring to the table, what I can bring to the table, and together we can create something that is beautiful.
Yeah. For me, like from what I'm listening to you explaining this, and from what I've watched, you create like this sense of community. So first of all, in the movie, it's not clear what Arzé, like what sect she's from,
Yeah,
but her name is Arzé, which is obviously the cedar tree, which represents Lebanon, and then she moves around from sect to sect, imitating each sect with the accents and the look, which is, to be honest, an amazing, phenomenal theme there that you did. Like, amazing job. And but at the same time, although that sounds like it's kind of unifying, you also showed the truth of how segregated Lebanon can be. You know, how people think there and have this mistrust of each other.
yeah,
So although on the set maybe everyone was like friendly and it was just like is diverse and unified, the truth of what's happening in Lebanon, or like how people think in Lebanon, is not as friendly or clean as we want it to be. Um, is that kind of like your approach there, or what's what's the system that you were thinking of when you were doing this movie?
okay. So let me tell you something. The film community in Lebanon is very open.
Yeah.
They're very friendly, and we're very diverse. We come from different backgrounds, different sexualities, different characters, and we all work together on TV, on film, but mainly on film. So already, like, choosing the crew, we always made sure that the crew has to be diverse, and the crew has to be coming from different backgrounds, because anyone could jump in and give us a detail that we couldn't think of. I mean, Lebanon is
Hmm.
like so diverse. Beirut is crazy. Like, things I learned were insane. So picking the crew was on purpose, and also choosing having a lot of women with key positions in the crew, that was also on purpose,
Hmm.
because we wanted to, like, because as much as we love art, we want to also help change the industry. So if I can do it, if I can have a say and be like, okay, I want my key positions to be women, why not? Because they can do something great, then this is something I'm willing to do, and I put my trust in them because a lot of people wouldn't do that. So
Yeah.
that was a choice between me and the producers, and collectively we all accepted that. As for the showing the truth of the country and how the areas are and how there's a huge division, that was done because, I mean, till this second, sadly, we are still seeing those problems. You know, when we started writing the movie, and for example, a lot of protests happening or the revolution that happened in 2019, we used to look at each other, we were like, maybe the movie's done, like the story doesn't work anymore, maybe we're all uniting. And then 2 days in, something happens. Oh, the movie is still relevant. It's like the movie has been relevant forever in our lives until this second with the war that is happening now with between each other, and it's still like we're fighting over sects, and I don't want this guy to enter this place and I don't want this guy to stay in this place. They're not from our areas. It's like crazy. It's like why, if we can unite and make a film together and be diverse and different, coming from different areas, why as people we can do that in our country? So we did that on purpose. We're like, oh look, the crew did this, which speaks about a country that's completely different from how we created the movie, because that's as our reality. um, Shaden, Diamant,
Hmm.
Arzé, not like Adina, Arzé. Those are people like me, like you guys, like the crew. They are people who are like they are not a lot in Lebanon. We are, let's say we're a bubble. We're the people who love to change. We're the people who want something else for our countries. But we're not a lot. We're minorities. We can't say much. We can't talk a lot. We don't have a say in what's happening. So, but those are the people who eventually are going to change the country. Those are the
Yes.
people who are going to help change the mentality of the people. So yeah,
Hmm.
Arze doesn't belong to anyone. Has no sect. Arze has no political background. Arze is not affiliated with anyone. Remember the first question you told me, her wearing the dress and walking and happy? I said she's in her own bubble, because a lot of people want that. They want to walk in their yellow dress and do their own thing without feeling like they should be
Yeah.
affiliated with anyone. Dina's the same. There's a lot of Dinas in our country. A lot of people who just want to be inclusive and want to be like I my inner peace and live my life alone and have my shop, but no one is letting those people live. So the movie is like a parallelism of a world we're living in. It's a crazy that in a very small city, all those characters coexist. But it's also beautiful because it shows that we can coexist. It's not like we can't. We've been coexisting forever. It's
Yes.
just one thing happens and then boom, everyone remembers their sect suddenly. So
Hmm. You know,
that's
No, that's a
I
great way of explaining it. Yeah.
yes.
That's amazing.
Uh, I think that's the power of storytelling and
yes.
changing the narrative. I think everyone has their own stories, and people are taught things when they're young, and they just stick with it, and they have their own beliefs and stories, and those beliefs are very rarely challenged when you stay in your echo chamber.
Of
But through
course.
art, through your film, anyone watching this who has a bit of segregation, let's say, and then you show them how silly it is that we're so judgmental of others
Mhm.
in a
You're all
silly,
the
fun way. You change their belief, you challenge their belief, and you change their mind, and you change society and culture by creating art. That's the power
exactly.
of making
That's
movies and telling stories.
I mean that's what you can say our weapon now. Is the culture, is the art, is showing our country, showing our people. That's what I can do. Like if I can do something else, that's what my capability is making art. So that's what I want to keep on doing. And I realized through time that Lebanese people get the message better through humor. They love
Mm-hmm.
it. Even when you talk to them, like if you make a joke about something or just don't like point fingers or don't sugarcoat, but they humor can pass, and that's why Arze was made in a humorous way, because we knew that humor is gonna let them, even if they are sectarian and they are with any political party, they're gonna come out and they're gonna smile and laugh.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Ali. Go ahead.
Oh, about working with comedians because you worked with Shaden and you worked with her before,
Yeah.
and you've I want to know about was that like did everyone stick to the script or was it more collaborative and people improvised? Because I know what people are like. Yeah.
We actually started the first 2 days were with Shaden because we wanted to break the ice between the actors and the crew and everyone, and we wanted to set the tone of the film. So who is better to do that than Shaden Fakir? I mean, she was so funny that she made us laugh for 2 days nonstop. She didn't stick to the script completely.
Hmm.
We loved it. We let her roll. Like, for example, at some point,
Hmm.
that scene when she gives her the Buddha and she goes in and
Hmm.
she's like, fucked my inner peace. That scene goes on and on, guys. Like, I have this scene, it goes on, and she's in her zone, yelling and smashing things. And I'm looking with at the producers, I'm like, let her do it. Because it's fun to watch her do that, and she gets more into the character. And honestly, she brought some jokes that were not in the script, and they were amazing. The Buddha was not in the script, but that was brilliant. Like how she crapped it.
That's funny.
And we were audience as well. We were laughing when we were watching her. Like, we loved that she decided to make different jokes, to add some lines. Her and Yamon clicked, and they were working together before with me. And we were like saying, she was like, okay, how about if I tell you this? And at some point, when Kinan is answering his girlfriend and they are in the background, they're both making jokes and laughing, but it doesn't look like that. They were dying. They were like doing jokes and they're just laughing. And we're I can hear them because I had everything in my with the headphones. I can hear everything happening in the room, and I'm like, okay, they're that them. They're entering like a different phase in the movie right now, and it's so funny. Um, and I remember Shaden did something that was hilarious. The first day, we were sitting, and Yama is he's someone who would get into her head, and she would turn into Arzé, and it's like crazy the way she shifts. It's beautiful. And then me and the producer sitting, and Yama is in front of me. Then Shaden comes next to her. She's like, "If you need any advice of in acting, if you need any thing to help you do your job better, let me know." And Yama, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. She looks at her. She's like, okay, okay, I will. And laughing. We're like, oh my god, Shaden, only you can do these things and pass. Like it's she's amazing. It was so funny working with her. She made the set more lighter. She made people laugh. She's a great comedian. And by the way, the role was like written for her, so she's the only person in the movie that the role was written for her. She's a friend since 2011,
Wow.
and we've been close. We worked together with Beirut.com in sketches, some sketches. It was fun. It was always fun working with her, and it was also chaotic. I loved it. Uh, but I get the stand-up comedian life. It's not easy. And I would want to work with her again. Like, definitely, like to write a role just for her means like this person is in our heads, like,
A
oh,
talent for sure.
crazy
Yeah.
talent. And she's so easy to work with on set. Like,
Hmm.
didn't I, you don't need to rehearse forever. She gets the point. She changes the lines to fit her character. And also, like, I love that she like used Dina. She integrated her character with Dina's, so it was like a mix of both. So that was funny as well. She rearranged some stuff in the shop, so I let her feel free to do whatever she wants. The way she was sitting, Also asked her a lot about like what do you think Dina would wear. So that goes back to the collaboration between me and the actors. I don't like we weren't like, okay, you should wear this, you should do this. No, no, no. It was like, okay, what do you think your character would be wearing? The bra is showing, and for example, like a lot of people would be like, "Ugh, why is the bra showing?" We loved it because that's Shaden. Shaden would come to
Yeah.
set up wearing eye shirt with the bra showing, and it felt like, okay, that's a very natural thing to happen. Let it show. If it showed, it's okay, no problem. So we were trying as like as much to do what she wants, but stay like true to the script and to the story.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think maybe make when if you make a movie just for her, that would be the one where it's just has no sadness in it. It's not depressing at all. It's just pure
At all.
pure comedy, pure
Although,
happiness.
although I always said that I want to challenge myself and work with Shaden on a not full comedy movie. Yeah, I mean, just
Okay.
just I want, because I know she's a great actress, and I know she has like both worlds, but people saw her only in comedy. So I would love to like
Yeah.
see what can we do if something is dramatic. So let's see, maybe the next film, hopefully, if everything goes well, she'll have
Inshallah.
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 Everything is going well. Let's say, I mean, you're on a beautiful path. You created it. It's amazing. I mean, what's the process of being Lebanon submission for the academy?
Well, what happens usually is that the Ministry of Culture creates a committee, and committee is up 10 people, maybe 12, and then the academy need to approve
Mm,
the committee. Like they should be all from a filmmaking background, a journalist but film journalist, professors but or theater but all film backgrounds.
mm-hmm,
So last year, Lebanon didn't have a committee. They
mm-hmm.
couldn't create one.
Oh,
This
wow.
year, with the war and everything, they decided that no, we're going to create a committee and we're going to choose from the movies that were produced in the past 2 years, and we're gonna choose one that represents our country. So they did. They met and they chose Arzé. And then after that, the academy tells us that everything is right. And now, like we received everything. They asked for some pictures, some background biographies, and then now it is in the international screening, screeners that they
Yes.
send to people.
Yeah.
And now
Mm-hmm,
a committee, because it's different than the best picture, a committee that is up to 15 people, I think, or maybe like 10, they meet,
Okay.
watch the 88, or like I don't know how many movies were submitted this year, and
Oh
they
God.
choose 30, then 15. And only the 15 are announced on December 15th, funny enough. And then after the 15th, we have the last five. So it's a different than the best picture, because not everyone watches and votes. It's a committee that chooses. And then after
Yeah.
the committee puts 15 movies as shortlisted, everyone gets to vote on, like all the members get to choose, like, I want this film, I like this film, I like this film to be part of the nomination. It's not an easy process. It is very
Yeah.
hard. There's a lot of great movies. We're actually competing with almost 88 films from different countries, films that come from bigger countries, bigger budgets, bigger PRs, and it is not easy at all. But we are very hopeful, at least to get shortlisted. We're pushing our best. The screenings that are happening in LA now with USC and Film Independent are gonna have hopefully members and people from the academy, and press also, which is gonna help us also push and make the movie, like, the momentum not to die. We're getting amazing feedback. We're selling out in every festival we're going to. Like every festival is doing 2 to 3 screenings just because the first one is not enough. So we know that the
Wow.
word is out there. We know that the people are loving the movie. We just need to keep the momentum going. We need to make more screenings, do more press releases. I'm sure the committee, like, they have a lot of movies to figure out, but I hope we get the chance to at least be shortlisted. Like, this is a dream, but to be fair with you guys, to be honest with you guys, it was like we didn't expect any of this. Like, we didn't even expect in the war a committee to be created. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
expect they
Yeah.
choose us. We don't have like, we're young, we don't know much like people in the industry in Lebanon, we don't live in Lebanon. uh
Hmm. Yeah.
our production is not Lebanese, it's Egyptian, and like our money came from Egypt and Saudi
Mm-hmm.
Arabia.
Yeah.
So we're not yani, we're not waslin, what I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
in Lebanon,
Yeah.
so it is in a way. I'm so proud and honored that with all the small means that we had, we actually got chosen. And like, it's crazy, and I'm so happy that people are happy. This is something that when people say thank you, and when people come out with a smile and tell me that this is what we wanted to see, this is what we hope our the people see, like they see our how they see our country, this is what means to us. And I'm glad that the academy is gonna see our country in that way.
Yes.
I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely should be proud. It's no small accomplishment what you're doing. Um, like, how often is it that it's like a very strong underdog story that's happening right now, and the fact that you're selling out festivals, pushing it around there, like out there, and everyone is just constantly asking for more. That's amazing. I mean, congratulations on getting shortlisted, and hopefully, and inshallah, we we pray that it goes even further, and you
Good.
get past the 88, get to the December 15 mark. We see you in the top five. Like, that's what we want to see. That's
Inshallah.
hopefully we get there. Yeah.
See you in the top one. That's what
Oh,
we want to see.
I'm hoping for a short list now. It's crazy because we're hoping for it to be Lebanese submission. We're hoping for it to at least enter any festival, and now we're saying we're hoping for it to be shortlisted. Yo, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Like, I got goosebumps because sometimes it hits me, sometimes it doesn't hit me. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, what is happening? Like, really, like my screening today's in Montreal was crazy. Like, full house. They had to. People were sitting on the floor. It was like, okay, and everyone stayed for the Q&A. I mean, I'm so proud and so happy. Like, really.
Yeah, I think something that you can take from this as well is that this is a good sign for you as your future in film. This is like something that you should constantly do. It's not like a you have the momentum, just keep doing it, and for the sake of Lebanon, please please don't stop.
Oh no,
Like,
Do
let's
it.
sorry, I'm not. Oh, okay, okay. I don't want to put.
Said,
no,
Sorry,
come on.
I
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm putting my expectations.
let's
Typical
you're gonna
Lebanese
make me
parent
cry.
there.
You're gonna make me cry. No,
Uh,
we won't. I mean, we were patient for 8 years to make this movie, guys, and we didn't give up, and
Yeah.
we were like always saying. I mean, I lost hope at some point, but thank God my brother is very optimistic. He's the one who always reminded us that this movie is gonna be done, and it's gonna be done, and people are gonna love it. But when you get
Hmm.
hit and rejected for 8 years, it's like, whoa, it's crazy. Whoa, nobody wants to hear our story. But we were patient for this to happen, so we're not now. It's not the time to give up. We have a lot of stories to tell. We're already writing two stories right now together, and also Lebanese stories, woman-centric stories that speak about us, about our people, more bold, though not so sectarian, more about us as people, personal stories, also humorous. You will laugh, you will cry, but you will come out with a hopeful feel. It's always a feel good movie. So
mhm,
we're excited. We're really excited, and we're just like, let's see what's gonna happen now with Arzé, and we're ready to start, inshallah, another movie. But let's
mhm,
first pray and hope for our country,
mhm,
for the war to stop, because we
Yeah.
want to film there and we want to work with the crew there. And
mhm,
inshallah, and we wanna, and one of the stories is in the south of Lebanon, and we want to film there because we realized a lot of movies don't film in the south of Lebanon. They do
mhm,
documentaries than fiction, no TV in south of Lebanon. So we had to make it. We wanted,
Mm.
that was like a point, that we want to film in the south where the story is set. But then this everything happens, and we're gonna film in the south. Like, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna wait until this war is done, and we're gonna film there. So we're those, like, we're a bunch of people who love our country, love our people, want to keep telling stories from our country, from our region, like, and also stories to our people. That says a lot about us. So yeah.
No, that's
Love it.
amazing. And yeah, best of luck to the future of film, Lebanese film there, right?
Yes, because no, it's
Ali.
true. Because by Mira, by doing what you're doing, being a young filmmaker with your directorial debut, making something amazing, and with all the credit that it's getting, it's going to open doors for other young filmmakers
I
too,
know. I know.
myself and
Inshallah.
others.
Inshallah.
And then you
I
have a
always,
movement, and then you
inshallah,
have art,
you
and out
know,
of the destruction comes art.
exactly. And we have a lot of beautiful stories coming from young people. Lebanon is full of talent. It's insane. We're very talented people. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not being, but we, all of us, we're very talented, and we
Thank
have a
you.
lot of stories to tell, and we're smart, and we're funny, and we're witty, and they just need to give us a chance, give the young people a chance, let them say their stories. It's about time we change our industry and let the youngsters say their stories. We're like, the way a 20 years old or 21 or whatever sees the war now is different than people like who always doing movies. So, and they don't give them the chance. And I hope that, I keep saying that, like, some people tell me, how did you do it? And I say, patience, and don't give up on your script. Keep on pushing and pushing, because one day you're going to be able to make the story that you want to tell.
All right.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
Mira,
And
I wanted to ask you
so
about your brother and your brother's influence on you, and what was it like for you growing up, and his influence on you now, and working with him. What's that like?
So he's gonna kill me, but we're 13 years apart. Yeah, like, we have a big age difference. My brother left the country. He was 18. I was like, what, 9,
Oh wow.
8, and we couldn't build a connection with each other. I was really young, and he was 18, so there was not no connection between us, and we didn't know how to talk to each other when I was young, of course. So what happened is that he always loved film. He used to film us all the time. He was a movie buff. He was so smart and talented, and I still have his tapes that he used to do when we were young. So when he left the country, he used to tell me, for example, to watch this movie, or like check this movie. But in Lebanon, we didn't have internet back then, so I needed to go and look for some DVDs in a place,
Lord
and
DVD.
I couldn't find some movies. So what used to happen is that whenever someone is coming from the States to Lebanon, he used to send gifts to me, to my mom and my sister and myself. So you open the bag, you see like a couple of clothes and makeup and everything, and then the small bag for Mira, it's full of DVDs. And you have DVDs, like, I was, what, 10 years, 12, watching The English Patient, American Beauty, and movies that were very like, and I remember putting them in the DVD player. I'm like, huh, nice. but like, but then what happens? He would call me, and then we discuss, and you tell me, yeah, maybe rewatch it again. So this is how we build the connection between each other. It was through film language, in a way. And then we became much
mm,
closer and much closer, and he was so supportive and pushing me to actually go in and do my bachelor's at LEU, and be like, see what can happen. Although the industry in Lebanon wasn't at its best, like it was never at its best, and very hard to become a director. But he was always pushing, and he was also always helping. When I graduated, I got a grant. He was always writing with me or supervising my script. Every time I need something, I go to him. Like, what do you think? This works? This not work? We built a beautiful connection together through film, and
Wow.
I thank him for that sometimes. I don't know, like my mom and dad are like, we wanted her computer science. I'm like, no, film. but but really our film helped us communicate better,
Wow.
and it helped us get closer to each other. And now we can speak for hours just discussing like this movie and this movie, and watch this and watch that, and let's talk about it. Or when I go to his place and stay with him, we spend hours just binge watching series. So yeah, so he's the one who did that. He's the one who's pushed me. He's he's older than me, and he's more experienced than me. He graduated from USC with his MFA, and he worked
Mm.
with Disney, with the Pixar, with Netflix, with Showtime. So when I had him with me on set, I felt so comfortable, and I knew that I have another eye, and this other eye is never gonna let me fail. So if there's something that I missed or I needed an advice on, I knew that my brother and Luai are gonna be there to tell me do this and do that. That's why I think the three of us work really well together, because we listen to each other. And if something I suggest or they suggest, if we think like it doesn't work, we listen and we agree. Like we always have to give an explanation why it is not working. But if they agree or I agree, it always works. So yeah, so my brother is the one who technically made me do all of this.
Wow, that's an amazing bond to build with your brother. You know,
Yes.
it's I guess something that maybe not everyone has, you know, and it's a rare thing, which can develop into obviously a passion and into your talent.
Yeah, and we're working
Um,
together. We're doing it together. Like that's crazy. Like this was our dream since we're really young. So I'm so grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm assuming also like you know this is also really fun for you guys as well, like getting to work together on the project. Like you know, used to discuss growing up, and now you're doing it instead of just discussing it.
Yeah, now
Like,
we discuss Arzé and our next project. But no, it's fun. It's fun, and also like fun to go to Lebanon together, to do the prep together, to
mhm.
film together, to have my mom be on set, my sister, use them as extras because we always do that, and to use my nephew and niece as extras. And we're like, it's I started with a collaboration. It was like a family, so now like it makes much more sense. It was a family set, we're all working
Mhm.
together. I have my family as extras, my brother on set. So I think, yeah, I mean, having this sensitivity and love on set brings also a great outcome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like something that I think that also exists quite well within the Lebanese community is that the sense of family, like the importance of the sense of family, and the values that are installed when you're, you know, like the. Let me try. I'm trying to phrase my thoughts, I guess. Um, yeah, the
Phrasing.
importance of حبيبي, thank you علي, شكرا. كتر خيرك. Uh, the value of family and like the priority it has within our lives,
Yeah,
and bringing that out into our work, I think can develop a strong like chemistry between you and the people that you work with.
of course. of course. And that was also translated in the movie with the mother and her son and her sister. I mean, we value family, and those are like, this is what, I mean, we all want to go back to our families. We all want to be with our families. We do the best to make our families feel happy and live a better life. So this is a very Lebanese thing, and I love it. And we're gonna translate it, and we did try it in Arzé, and we're gonna do it in other movies as well.
Right. I mean, I completely agree. I have
Nice
nothing.
comment.
I have nothing to. Ah! How can I be less? How can I be less autistic? What can I do?
Funny.
شو بدي أعمل خيك؟
Watch Autism the musical. There you go. Sorry.
إجا بحبسني.
Sorry. I'm okay. Mira, thank you so much for your time today. There's,
Yes.
a lot we can talk about, and it's beautiful, and hopefully we can reconnect in the future and dive
Please.
deeper into many things. And but yes, for now, this was a beautiful podcast. We learned so much about you.
Thank you so much, guys. Really, I'm so happy. Like, it was very like fresh, homey kind of talk. I really hope to get to meet you, Saeed. You should come to
Yes.
the North, US, not Canada, or Canada if you want. And Ali, I should meet you in LA.
Yes, most definitely.
Yes,
All right.
and thank you so much. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you for
Yes.
coming on, Mira.
I feel refreshed. Thank you.
Your film is beautiful, and we're looking forward to what you do next.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Said, what did we learn today?
Soon. Let's see.
Well, we learned that we have great chemistry with other Lebanese people. Alhamdulillah, we still
You
got
guys
that.
are amazing. You guys are great. I swear, you guys are great.
Thank you so much, Mira. That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we learned about an amazing movie that everyone should watch, especially if they want to learn about, what Lebanon is like, the good, the bad, everything. Guys, please watch Arzé and support Mira in her strive to becoming, nominated for a freaking Oscar. Please. Anyway, Mira, how can people find your movie so that they can support you? How can they connect with you? What's the next step to pushing this to the next level?
Well, they can vote for us on IMDb. It's Arzé. Letterboxd. They can follow us on Instagram at Arzé Film, or myself, Mira Shaib. All the details or the upcoming screenings, festivals, everything is gonna be on the page. And now we're campaigning, so let's hope for the best.
Awesome. And if anyone doesn't know how to spell Arzé, is ARZE, correct? So
Yes.
just making sure.
Yes.
Anyway, this is how we end the podcast. Oh wait, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe as well to us, so that please, Anyway, this is how we end the podcast. Mira, if you want, you can join us. We salute and cover the camera. And yallah.
How do I
Yallah.